Hello and welcome to the Backside Dig. My name is Tyler DeSena, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. He is a safety by way of Marshall. Before that, Jackson State in Eastern Michigan. It is Cam Smith. Cam, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing great. Can't wait to talk to you. Got a pretty decent amount of questions here, sort of about your career leading up to this point, and where you're planning to go in the future. And I wanted to start with you know, we saw you at the Hula Bowl and kind of working your way around here and kind of being an under the radar player who's trying to make that jump. What does it look like your average day right now? Kind of like workouts or, what are you doing in this kind of weird off season time frame?
So right now I'm just training, like training in the morning. Well, whatever time that my trainer want me to come in, so I just come in, train in the morning. After done training, I do a little bit of like stretching and stuff after training. Then I go home, eat, take a nap, and then like later on in the day, I go to the field to get some footwork in.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like the ideal kind of off-season program you got going on. But before that, before this, last few years, you're kind of a prime example of somebody who has gone through what a lot of people are dubbing like the new college football experience of, being with multiple programs. The transfer portal is obviously more active than it has ever been before. And I wanted to ask you specifically, what was it like kind of adapting to new landscapes and new, programs over the last couple of years? And how do you feel personally that kind of impacted your ability to develop as a football player and as a person?
Okay, it's everybody. You know how the transfer process is. Like when you
Yeah.
first transfer to a new school, it's kind of like it just feel different because you're not used to the environment. Like you got to meet new people, build new relationships. You just have to get comfortable and adapt to the environment that you're in now. And when it was kind of hard, like adjusting to the new atmospheres, 'cause like you said, it's different at each school, each program. Each program have their own particulars particular stuff they want to get you to understand, or how they do things. Everybody have their own, like, you know so it's kind of it wasn't hard, but it was hard at the same time. I feel like once you adjust to it and like you get used to it and get comfortable, like it's kind of just you just get on, you just get rolling, you just hop on board.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably pretty valuable experience too to also be someone who's adjusted to different coaching styles and, before even trying, professional football in any capacity, you've already been somebody who's bounced around and has been different places, seen how different teams do things. And I wanted to ask you particularly about one of those stops and you being at Jackson State. I think probably the most underappreciated level of football right now, at least in the college ranks, is those HBCUs because not they aren't getting the same spotlight that a lot of people did. Obviously, when Shadur and Deion Sanders were down there, like it was a lot bigger. But I think that a lot of people have already forgotten what it's like to play at that level. So I wanted to ask you specifically, what influenced your decision in going to Jackson State and kind of joint like becoming one of the above the ranks in an HBCU, and then what kind of coaches while you were there, if you have any like specific names, kind of made an impact on you that you think coaches or players or people you don't feel get enough shine from when you were there?
um the reason I chose J State, 'cause like you said, like they just don't get it like enough recognition, and like they don't get enough respect on the program that they have built over the years and what they used to be compared to what they are now. So I feel like I kind of fit it in that environment, like just trying to build on something, and I was trying to build on myself. So I feel like making that decision just kind of helped me, like kind of like I got kind of like get the love of football back again. Just realize like who I was. Like, no matter what school you at, like they gonna find you if they really want you and if you're good enough. And the two coaches, I would say Coach Mario and Coach Quinn. Those my DB coaches there. And
Mhm.
then the player is Rob McDaniel. He currently played for the Washington Commanders. Like, he was kind of like my role model, like my big brother. Like when I first got there, like he kind of like showed me the ropes and helped me, like show me around everything, how everything works, how they do things, and I just got like used to it, and I just adapted so well.
Yeah, I mean that's almost every story you hear about players who have gone to any HBCUs is such a positive football experience, and they don't get nearly as much love as obviously some of the bigger and more traditionally accepted like Power Five, programs
Yes,
there.
sir.
But As you moved on with your experience, I wanted to ask you about the All-Star game process because you were down at the Hula Bowl. And a lot of guys are, kind of cycling through these all-star games. You hear about these players who've gone to, a few of them now, just trying to get their name out there. But I think a lot of people know about Senior and Shrine Bowl. What was your experience like at the Hula Bowl, kind of being with a bunch of guys that you've never really been teammates with before, and kind of, gelling in that experience, also knowing that there are, pro scouts watching?
It was a good experience, like you said, like just getting to meet new guys from like other schools that I never would have met in my life. Because obviously, like we always had different programs, but I just connected so well. Because like it's basically I was playing, I was in another college team, but it was just it was just an all-star game, and so we was like everybody from all over. So it just felt like college still. Like I got a bunch of new teammates. We all basically kind of just transferred in, so we all had to kind of like get used to each other, get talk. The more we hung out and talk, and the camaraderie that we got more comfortable with each other, getting prior to the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is it really is such a unique experience. You said like almost like transferring to a new program. And it's like
Yeah,
when you transfer to a new school, you usually don't have three practices and then a game the same week you get there. But
yeah.
like, yeah, it's definitely an interesting experience. And I was wondering, what do those days kind of look like? I mean, I know that obviously there's time to sit and talk to teams. Is that more of a formal thing where they've got you in a room and they're like, here's we're gonna, drill you on these questions, or is this more of a kind of informal? Some guy walks up like, "Hey, I'm from X, Y, or Z team," asks you a question or two, then kind of goes on with their day.
So it was it was kind of basic, kind of like a college routine. You wake up, you got breakfast in the morning, we got position meetings, well, unit meeting, then position meetings, and then you would walk through and stuff, and then before practice, go to practice, have practice, and after practice, lunch, shower, and then like lunch was at like once we got back from practice, like some of the like that's when you just do all your meetings with scouts like in between that from that time period. So once you get back from practice, you can meet with scouts from that time period all the way until bedtime. So you just meet with like some people will meet with two scouts, some people meet with like 10 scouts throughout that time. So you like the scouts will just like hit you up and reach out to you, and then you just meet them in the lobby and then just have meetings with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've always wondered because I've been attending some of these like all star games last couple of years, and obviously you see like X player met with X, Y, and Z team, and so many people make like such a big deal about it, like when a certain player will meet with, if you're a fan of what team and it comes out through the media or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's interesting to hear, I guess, like how that process works because so many of these guys are just like, hey, come here, ask you a few questions, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I've met with this team, and it becomes the biggest thing on social media. But as for that process as a whole, what do you feel like you specifically got out of it? Obviously, besides being with a bunch of guys that you wouldn't normally have been teammates with in the past, besides that, and besides, like, what did you get out of talking to some of these teams and the practice experience and kind of rushing yourself into that flow of a football week? What did you get out of it specifically?
I got a lot. I learned a lot from it because like we were getting coached by some of the best coaches in like that coach football, like they coached in the NFL. So some of them were position coaches, some of them were DC, some of them were head coaches. So just getting coached by, players who already been played at the level and coached at that level, it was just a different feeling. Like that's how it's going to be at the next level. So it was basically was like an introduction of how the next level go, like means and how the terminology, how they communicate with each other, and then when it come from like the meeting perspective with the NFL scouts, it's basically like just getting comfortable, talking to like scouts and stuff. Because like obviously you're going to have to do a lot of like interviews and stuff. Like when the time come, they're gonna if they see if they like you. So like it was just basically just getting used to like I would say just getting comfortable having a real like man to man conversation with scouts, like just being honest with them, like just answering all the questions honest, like the right way, make sure you're speaking clearly and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the other bowl games and you think about Indiana going out and winning a national title, and then the next week, a bunch of their guys are down at the Senior Bowl. It really is kind of these bowl game experiences are a lot of these athletes, especially for yourself. You're kind of like first jump into what the rest of the off season is going to look like. So yeah, I mean, I love hearing about that experience because it's such a unique thing we have in football where kind of the season ends and then you're already jumping into this off season, which is like a whole other thing for you guys.
Yeah.
But as for your time as a player, I wanted to look back at your most recent season here at Marshall and kind of the fact that that team played you in a lot of different spots. Like, having you play kind of like a sub package role, like down close to the line of scrimmage, having you play some deep stuff. But, you look at, your stats from that season and a lot of your film, a lot of your best plays are you getting downhill, making plays. You had like 6 sacks on the season, getting after the quarterback, especially from somebody who's traditionally viewed on the roster as a defensive back, is something that's, not necessarily typical. And I wanted to ask you specifically, being that kind of downhill player, is that where you feel that you're like best suited? Is that where you're most comfortable? And if so, why do you think that that works for you? Is it like your instincts, some of your athleticism, maybe the way you watch film? Like, what do you think makes that work for you so well?
I say everything plays a part, like, my athleticism, instincts, and then like just my ability to trigger and like read and react. And yeah, film studies definitely help. Like it makes you play faster. So like just like reading tendencies and stuff. Once you read tendencies and like you study film, like you just it just make you play faster. And I feel like that's kind of like my strong suit. Like I can play anywhere. Like you said, I can play multiple positions. Like I can play. I'm comfortable wherever they want me to play. But like, yes, I am like more of a. I like to play downhill a lot. Like that's my game. I'm real physical, so I like to play downhill a lot. But like you said, I can play anywhere. Like wherever they want to play me, I can play there.
Yeah, I mean, and it's such a valuable skill set when you think of like the next level, you think of NFL players. I mean, that's kind of what's taking over the league as of late. You think of a player like Kyle Hamilton, who is
Yeah,
literally everywhere. You can look at his, snap chart and you see like here he is playing the nickel, here he is playing deep safety, and it's like wherever they have a hole, they're gonna throw that guy. You think of Jalen Ramsey in recent years, where it's
yes,
like
sir.
he
Yeah,
started out as exclusively an outside corner, then kind of played more nickel, then played some safety, and now in Pittsburgh he's everywhere. And it's like people remember when you look at him as a guy who shuts down one side of the field. Now he's somewhere in that,
yeah,
probably at his best playing closest to the line of scrimmage. Um, I want, bringing up some of those guys. Can't forget the guys in Seattle like Devin Witherspoon, Nicky Memori, who just won Super
yeah.
Bowl. But uh, kind of wanted to ask you, when you look at those guys at the next level, are there certain players that you kind of look at that and see like, hey, that's kind of my game? Or are you kind of like, are there players that you kind of turn on their film or maybe just watch highlights to get yourself pumped up? Who are the players that kind of, when you look at, you see a little bit of yourself?
Uh, I would say like Kyle Hamilton, like in the Nick Morris, because like just being a big DB, like a tall DB, like tall, long, fast, and physical. Just like I kind of like model my game. Like after that, I really do like Kyle Hamilton. Like he kind of like my favorite. Like he just like I say he just play anywhere on the field. Like he could play DN, linebacker, nickels, safety. Like he
Yeah.
just a hybrid. He could play all over the field, and like he just so tall and long. That's kind of like he a little taller than me. I'm only 6'2", but he got a couple inches. But like just still having been still that's still tall for the league. But like just being like so tall and being able to just like you said play plug and play. You can play anywhere. Like that's how I kind of like model my game, and that's how kind of who I want to model my game after Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, I mean, and those guys are, like I said, they're already so there's becoming more and more of them, but at the same time, they're still more important than they've ever been because all these teams are, trying to manipulate what guys you bring out on the field.
Hmm.
And you're trying to get safeties on the field so you can run the ball. And then all of a sudden, when the safety that trots out is, 6'2", 6'3" plus and like hitting 200 pounds and can come down and thump in the run game, kind of messes with the math in the same way that, offenses are trying to do to defenses. Kind of asked you this before, but yeah, you said that you kind of felt comfortable like playing that sort of box role where you're kind of moving around, playing downhill, thumping. Do you have any like specific moment throughout your college career where that kind of like clicked for you that that's what you wanted to do? Maybe it was even before then. When did you kind of figure out like, hey, this is a spot for me? Is there coaches that kind of unlocked that for you where they're like, hey, this is the kind of player you can be? Or was it something that just kind of fell into your lap?
Uh, I would say I just like this most recent season. That's when I really like got comfortable because I like all my other schools. I really didn't like play in the box a lot, so I was playing a lot of middle of the field safety, a lot of cover three and cover and man. So it was just I wasn't used to like playing in the box a lot. But like this past year, like that's when I realized like man, I really am versatile and I can play like like a lot of positions like on the field. Like I never played linebacker until this past year. Like I never like played any linebacker until this past year. So and
Yeah.
actually, this is my this that's when I got my first sack this year. Like I never played linebacker. Like I never got any like type of blitzes like or anything at my other school. So I feel like when Coach Gibson, which is he was our defensive coordinator, we had a lot of like sub packages and like I was just like playing all over the place. And then once I realized like how good I was at doing it, I just like fell in love with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's such an awesome thing about like coaching and the way that some of these guys will see you because it's like you're saying that you've done that pretty much never before, and then you look at a coach and it's like they see you and they see your body type and the way you get after it in practice, and they're like, "Hey, that guy can go there." And then all of a sudden, you've got like a season where you've got half a dozen sacks and making plays in the backfield, and it's such a unique way that the NFL works, especially now because it's such like the NFL and college and football in general is there are no positions anymore, especially really on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
And I mean, that's what we saw with Seattle at the the highest level going out and winning a Super Bowl. You
yeah,
see it in these successful college defenses. It's all about how many guys can you get on the field who are truly chess pieces. And it's
yeah. It's
definitely
hard playing defense nowadays. It's real hard. Like you got to
yeah,
be. I feel like you got to be able to play, or not even play. Like you got to even know like multiple positions in order to even to get put at that position. Like you have to learn it first before you can actually learn how to move at it. So, and I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like you gotta know it first, and once you know it, like you would get more comfortable of like knowing like certain things, what to look at, the movements, like technique and stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, that's I think we look at all those players and you think about we brought up a guy like Kyle Hamilton and you think of him as oh my gosh, he can play edge and play linebacker and play deep safety and play nickel and oh my gosh, he's so athletic. But so much of it is in his head and the fact that he's able to just read the whole thing out. And it's one of the reasons he got drafted so high in the first place because just the fact that you have that he has the mind to be able to kind of do all those things, understand his responsibilities. And then when he's not playing those responsibilities, understanding where his teammates could be deficient if he's playing,
Hmm.
a deep post player and understanding where he needs to go or reading out a formation. The amount of times where you see him rotate late and then go make a play in the backfield, it's like that's the kind of stuff where like you're watching your tape and you see like a couple of those plays and you're like, that's the big thing is you can't really play all those spots unless you've got the mind for them.
Yeah.
But my last real question for you is sort of one to everyone out there who's maybe, watched you, hasn't had the opportunity to talk to you, but, is intrigued. You think of teams, you think of just fans in general. I want to ask what kind of player and person is a team getting or is, just somebody who meets you getting in Cam Smith? What are they getting in you as a teammate, as a person, as a worker? How would you describe yourself?
I would say character, like I'm real cool. I get along with anybody on the team. Like it don't matter what side of the ball they on, what position they play. Like I can genuinely have a conversation with anybody on the team. Like I'm a goofball. I can make anybody laugh. I play a lot, but like I know when it's time to lock in as well. And I'm always gonna show up. Like it don't matter if I'm hurting. Like it don't matter what I'm going through. I can be sick, hurting. It don't matter. I can have a headache. I'm still gonna show up. I'm still gonna practice. I'm gonna play in every game. Like I'm gonna show up whenever, any no matter what when they need me, I'm gonna show up. Like that's the type of player you get. Like I'm real humble. I'm a real team guy. Like I don't care if I'm playing special team. I'm still gonna be the most happiest person out there when my teammates out there making plays. Like it don't matter if I don't get a snap at safety at all. Just the opportunity, just have an opportunity to even be out there with the guys and like build relationships. Like that's what it's all about for me. And I feel like that's what teams are gonna get from me.
Yeah, I mean that's what everyone wants to hear. Like, I mean, I think whenever somebody's looking for players, you want to hear about guys who just love the game, and it's clear watching you play, talking to you here that you do. And that's really all I've got for you. I really do appreciate having you on, and
Thank you
anytime
for
I was
having me.
like, thanks. I really appreciate it. So that was it for Tyler and Cam Smith. This was the Backside Dig. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back again soon.